Hi there, Funmi. My name is Ellen, and I'll be correcting this essay for you today. I'm very happy to see that you have submitted an essay for correction. So let's take a look at what you have written here. The topic is international marketing. You need to discuss both sides of this issue and present your opinion. So let's see what you did. Some people believe marketing of goods and services across borders of countries is bad for the market growth of the receiving country, while others believe it is a cheap means of accessing information. This essay will discuss both views and draw examples from developing countries like Nigeria and Ghana. Okay, so this is lovely. I thought you did a very nice job of this. You did a great job of rephrasing the topic, of presenting the dilemma that is under inspection. But there's one issue here. The prompt asks you very clearly to discuss both sides and give your opinion. So every IELTS essay essentially has something like this. It could either be a command or it can be a question, but there's always some sort of instruction regarding what you're supposed to answer. Okay, and it's really important that you respond to this in your introduction. Okay, so it's not enough to just say that you're going to discuss both views, but you actually need to address the issue of your opinion, as it says here. Say discuss both sides and give your opinion. It's really in your best interest to when it asks for it, give your opinion in the introduction. Because if you look at the band descriptors for a task response, under band 7, it says presents a clear position throughout the response. Your position is whatever the answer to this command or question is, and throughout means from the beginning to the end. Okay, so this is one of the things that you want to do if you're aiming for a band 7. Okay, so the language was fine. Everything so far was good, but it's just that one issue that I want to bring to your attention. So let's move on to your body paragraphs. The sale of goods from a country in another country is perceived as aggressive and intrusive because it damages the local economy. Usually when products by such enterprises come into a country, it affects the sales of similar indigenous products negatively. This is owing to the fact that the homegrown company might not have enough funds to promote the product like the foreign company. For example, it is a well-known fact in Nigeria that the introduction of Kellogg cornflakes into the local market led to the gradual downturn in the sales of Nasco cornflakes, the only local cereal brand in Nigeria. Nasco could not compete against Kellogg with its exciting advertisements and better packaging. The company eventually closed down after struggling for a couple of months. Okay. I like this. You can see that I didn't correct any of the grammar. All the grammar was very accurate. I thought you did a very nice job. You had some really good vocabulary, words like indigenous. There was something else that I remember liking, but it felt very natural and it felt like it read really well. The one thing that kind of kept me on the edge of my seat, as it were, was this, how can I put this? You did talk a little bit about marketing, but you also talked a lot about sales and about the sales of those goods. So you said that the sales of goods from another country is perceived as aggressive. And this kind of left me a little nervous because you're supposed to be talking about the marketing and how this marketing is perceived as invasive, intrusive, or aggressive, as you said. Okay, so and this is an area where a lot of people have problems with this essay. They end up talking about globalization, they end up talking about trade, and not so much about international marketing, which might fall under the general umbrella of globalization, but it really is its own separate issue. And so you kind of you were kind of on the line here. There were a couple of times where you started talking about sales, not so much marketing. And then there was another place as well that I can't totally remember. But then, of course, you did end up talking about the better advertising and the better packaging and so forth. So that was appropriate. So you just needed to talk more exclusively about marketing and how this feels invasive, this feels intrusive. And maybe rather than talking about selling, okay, the sales of goods. You could have talked about the perception of the public. So maybe the public itself feels like this is invasive and intrusive, and not just the local businesses that, you know, may fail as a result of these international companies, okay? So maybe culturally there are some things happening that local people don't approve of or don't really appreciate, that, you know, maybe another reason why this marketing feels invasive. Okay, so that's just another way to think about it. Now let's take a look at your next paragraph. In contrast, international marketing, you don't need to capitalize it, by the way. International marketing can be beneficial for the host country in terms of exposure and knowledge made available to the citizenry. Information and resources hitherto not available to these people are passed across through the introduction of foreign goods into the country. For instance, many families in Nigeria and Ghana did not appreciate the need for protein-filling breakfast until the introduction of Kirkland egg shake cereal in both countries. It was through the numerous adverts on television that several homes learned the importance of protein-dense diets, healthier ways of taking cereals, and paying attention to I wanted a the here, the caloric value of meals. Okay, all right, fine. Let's read your conclusion, then we'll talk about this paragraph a little more. The impact of global marketing in other countries has plenty of downturns, and that's the wrong word, not downturns. You could say disadvantages, you can say cons, drawbacks, but downturns is a little awkward. Okay, if not properly managed, however, I am of the opinion that it can be essential for the host country if there are effective policies and processes in place to protect the homegrown businesses. All right, your conclusion is lovely. I'm happy with this paragraph because you got to the point. I mean, you talked about how, you know, international marketing can be educational, and how it's instructional, and I thought that was great. And I thought, what a nice example, and really showing like a tangible example of how this can be a good thing. My only concern is that while it was really developed in a very, very good way, you kind of missed some of the other areas that the task asked you to talk about. Remember, a necessary and economical form of education. I mean, that's the first thing it says. And then it says, in addition to spreading ideas, language, and culture. So you talked about spreading ideas, and you talked about education. You never really referred to it as economical. I mean, maybe we could let that go because there really are a lot of things to talk about in this essay. I understand. A lot of different kind of moving parts in this essay. But there really was nothing about language and culture, okay? So maybe that's something you could have added here. Your paragraph, your positives, really just focused on this, you know, on this example and the information gained. So again, maybe a little bit about language, maybe a little bit about culture, just something to really show that you're acknowledging the prompt and the areas that it asked you to go into. Okay, so on the whole, I thought you did a really, really good job. Okay, I thought it was a really well written essay. Of course, there were some things that, as you can see, needed to be worked on a little bit in order to get you definitely to a high score. But you're absolutely on the right track here. Okay, so here's the thing. If you would like to continue working with us, and if you would like to continue getting feedback for your writing, then I would love to suggest signing up for one of our essay correction packages. You will get some information in the email about that. We also have an online course which is super comprehensive and tells you everything you need to know about writing, both tasks 1 and task 2. I should say that I would love to see one of your task 1s to see what you're doing there, you know, the strengths, the weaknesses, and if we can help you kind of overcome any issues that you might be having. Because I think I saw in your email that you haven't taken the IELTS before, so we'd love to give you some guidance on how to do that successfully. So that pretty much brings us to the end of this correction. Again, I look forward to working with you, so I hope we can do that in the future. Good luck to you.